Welcome back to Northside Pyro. Shopping at a fireworks store can be a bit of an intimidating activity. There are aisles and aisles with products stacked practically from floor to ceiling, with industry terminology everywhere, and for a casual consumer, it can be a bit difficult to make sure that you are buying the items that you really want. Today, we are going to help you by breaking down what the different types of consumer fireworks are and what all those words mean, both on the shelves and on the packages themselves. First, let's go over a few basic tips about buying fireworks. Number 1, find a local family-owned store. Avoid the big chains that you see a million billboards for along the highway. The local stores will almost always have better prices and better service. They usually don't have quite the huge selections that the big superstores have, but it is definitely worth the trade-off. Second, don't get suckered in by advertisements for buy one, get 2 or 3 free. While good legitimate stores will definitely have sales and discounts, the places that offer the year-round buy one, get X number for free are marking the prices up to make up the difference in the price every single time. Third, go with a budget in mind. Fireworks are labeled in a very enticing way, and it can be easy to just keep wanting to grab more and more product off the shelves. Make sure you know how much you want to spend and stick to that. Fourth, don't blow your whole budget on one big item. There are single fireworks in stores that can go for $200 or $300 or even more. For people doing very large shows, they can be amazing additions with spectacular effects. But if you have a limited budget, or you're just having fun in the backyard, or just lighting off a few with friends, you want to get more bang for your buck. So don't be seduced by what looks like the single coolest item in the store. Fifth, avoid assortments. Generally, fireworks companies will put a lot of filler products into assortments that are not necessarily the highest quality products, and not even products that they offer to sell on an individual basis. They just want to fill the thing up to make it look good. So go and buy each individual product yourself. Don't bother with the assortments. And sixth and finally, ask for help. Owners and employees at your local fireworks stores are extremely helpful. Most of them have seen just about every item in the store lit off at least once. Tell them what your budget is and what kind of show you're trying to put on. And most times they will even walk through the store with you and help you with your shopping. Now, sometimes they are extremely busy, and some people just don't want to ask for help. And so the rest of this video will help you to do your own shopping and make sure you are buying exactly what you are looking for. So fireworks you find at the store can be most basically broken down into 2 categories. We won't really be talking about novelties and sparklers here today, as those are easy to just look at and decide what you want to buy. But the larger fireworks on the shelves are going to be either ground or fountain fireworks, and aerial or sky fireworks. Some states, like California, only allow ground fireworks and forbid any fireworks that shoot up into the air. Make sure you're always following local laws. The majority of fireworks you will find in your local store are going to be aerial fireworks, but there is always a section of fountain fireworks. The aisle for fountain fireworks should be labeled, but the firework itself has a label on it that makes it easy to tell the difference. Fountain fireworks will say, "Caution" or "Warning, emits showers of sparks" on the label. Aerial fireworks will say, "Caution" or "Warning, shoots flaming balls." Make sure that you know which you are buying, and that you have a safe place to light off either of these types of fireworks. Let's go through the different types of fireworks. Later in the video, we will go through the different types of effects and what they are called, and how you'll find them labeled on the boxes. The first and most common type of aerial fireworks are called either multi-shot repeaters, or more simply, cakes. And they come in 2 basic sizes, which in fireworks stores will each have their own sections. There are 200-gram and 500-gram cakes. This refers to the amount of combustible powder in these fireworks. There are also 350-gram cakes, but they will generally be grouped in with one of the other 2, as these are the least common. I'll show you examples of each type as I describe them. 200-gram cakes are your most common. You'll find shelves and shelves and shelves of these on the walls in your local store, and they generally come in either a square, a circle, or a triangle box. By the way, circle boxes of 200-gram cakes tend to be the fireworks that are the most common to tip over, so use extra caution when you're lighting those. These are a ton of fun, and especially good if you want to light a lot of fuses and are working with a smaller budget. Then there are 500-gram cakes, which are the largest fireworks allowed by law and will have the biggest effects. The 500-gram cakes can also be broken down into a few categories. There are standard aerial repeaters, which will generally have a lot of shots from one firework. Nine-shot racks, which are also called no-abs, which have only 9 shots, but tend to be the largest with the most unique effects. And zipper or finale cakes, which will sometimes have hundreds of shots, and they also tend to be the most expensive, along with the 9-shot racks. The next type of firework is artillery shells or reloadables. These are single fireworks that usually have large effects and can be great for either big shows or having fun. You load them into a tube that comes with them and light them off one by one. There are 2 basic types of artillery shells, canisters and balls. Canister shells tend to have larger breaks, while the ball shells tend to be more symmetrical. In canister shells, you will find different sizes from 3 inches up to 8 inches. The thing to keep in mind is that regardless of how big a canister shell is, they all have a maximum payload of 60 grams of combustible material. So a lot of the bigger shells tend to be more of a marketing ploy and don't really differ all that much from the smaller ones. One of the advantages of a package of artillery shells is that you light them one at a time so you can space them out. And also, if you're just having fun with friends, there are more fuses to light. Professionals and people that are putting on bigger shows tend to fuse them together in a rack of tubes so that they can just light one fuse and then they all go off at a predetermined pace. Next, we have Saturn missile batteries. These are similar to cakes since they have just one fuse to light, and technically they are cakes. But they shoot off a lot of small shots, ranging from just 5 up to several hundred. Most of them have a whistle as the shots fly, and some have either a small explosion or a very small effect at the top of the shot. Be careful, though, as they fly off in all different directions. The final variety we'll talk about is rockets. Maybe the most classic image of a firework is of a rocket. These range from the very small and bottle rockets to the very large, which are more or less canister shells attached to a rocket. They can have small effects like just a small explosion, or very large effects like the others of the largest fireworks. One thing to keep in mind is that rocket fireworks are the most unpredictable of all the fireworks, and can also be the most affected by wind. If you're going to light off rockets, make sure you have a very large, safe area to work with, and that you have them placed in a tube that is large enough that they are very stable before lighting them off. Now let's go over the different firework effects. On every firework, you will see listed the number of shots and the different effects. While some firework manufacturers like to use their own names for different effects, the majority all use the same terminology. When you're choosing which fireworks to buy, you can see all of the effects listed and make your decisions based on what you want to see the most. Stars is just the term used for the individual balls of colored light that make up the larger effect. When you see a label simply say stars, that is generally going to be the Peony effect, which we'll talk about in a moment. Let's go through the most common and popular effects. Peony. This is a ball of colored lights that spreads out after exploding. Dahlia. Similar to a peony, but with fewer and larger stars. Chrysanthemum. This is similar to a peony, but the colored lights leave a trail behind them. Palm. This is like a chrysanthemum, but with a tail that leads up to the explosion and more spread out lights and trails. Brocade. Very similar to a chrysanthemum, but almost always silver and brighter. Crackle. This is a spread of smaller crackling explosions after the main explosion. Willow. Fireballs drop down, leaving a long-lasting trail behind them looking like a willow tree. Flying fish. After the explosion, the small balls of light shoot off in different directions. Falling leaves. After the explosion, small balls of colored light slowly fall downwards. Crossettes. Colored balls explode into 4 balls going different directions. Horsetail. A group of balls of light all shoot in one direction, leaving a trail behind them. Ghost. After the initial explosion, additional lights appear seemingly out of nowhere. Glitter. Shimmering lights that blink after the explosion. Rings. The explosion creates a circle of colored lights in the shape of a ring. Tourbillion. A spinning ball of fire that leaves a tail behind it. Pistil, a smaller bunched effect inside of the larger effect. Usually you will have a description of the pistil like crackling pistil or glitter pistil. Mine, a lower effect before the main effect. Hopefully now, the next time you're in a fireworks store, you're able to make some more educated decisions and not be overwhelmed. When lighting off fireworks, always be safe and be mindful of your surroundings. Remember, when you're at the store, when in doubt, ask for help. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer anything. That's going to do it this time for Northside Pyro. Please subscribe, click the like button, and we will see you in the next one.